things, you know. I'm not a person who needs to have the latest gadget or the latest of anything. You know, I'm very generic. Give me no name, something. I don't care. As long as I'm get it, I'm good. You know,
Mhm.
no fuss. But
Mhm.
some women may require a little bit more of a attention when it comes to those things. But knowing your mate, understand, getting to know who they are. You got to know them when you were dating. So they always say you don't really know a person until you start to live with them. So
Yep.
after you met, you're now in close quarters with each other. You're now seeing each other every day, you know. And are there going to be irritations? Of course. Are there going to be things that probably get on your nerves? Of course. But getting to know your mate, the nuances about them,
Mhm.
things that you not like about them, things that annoy you, and also the things that endear you to them.
The
But
quirkiness.
focus on the quirkiness,
Yeah.
but focus on the things that attracted you to that person in the first place. Go back to that. So if you find that there are days in which I can't stand, or I can't stand that one, or you're angry about something, these are normal emotions that we all experience, and for different reasons within the marriage. But if you remember, what was it that attracted you to your husband? Well, I remember, what was it that attracted you to Brad? His considerate, his being considerate, his being kind, his being nurturing, his being affectionate, his being, you know, um, I often say he seems like an imposing person because of his size, but he has such a kind heart. He wears his heart on his sleeve. So he's such an emotional person, and I love those qualities about him because most men are not emotional. He's open with his thoughts. He tells me what he's thinking. He tells me how he feels about it, and I appreciate that. I'm quite the opposite. Quite interesting because I don't really open up. I'm not emotional. I'm not the person who's going to just tell you everything on my heart and my mind. But the fact that he's patient, he realizes that it's going to take
Mhm.
time for me to open up, kind of like a flower.
Mhm.
You know, the conditions need to be right in order for the flower to start to open and bloom. And so the fact that he understands that about me, I understand that he is emotional. Sometimes his emotions can be, overwhelming at times. A little too much stimulation
Too
for me,
much, yeah.
like always on, But those are things that I would not change. Don't go in thinking I'm going to change my mate to who I want them to be.
Mhm.
You married them for who they were. If they do change, and I go with the mindset, if there are any changes, it should be for the better, both of you,
Mhm.
um, and embrace those changes. Don't change them because this is what you expect, you want. The fact that if there is a change, it's because they feel that they need to make that change.
Yeah. Not
And if they
because.
make that change, that's all the better because you didn't force them to do any of that. That came from
True.
within.
Yeah.
And then, most important, the spiritual foundation needs to be continuously built. Um, that's what brought us together. That was our foundation when we met, and it continues to be our foundation to this day. And we hope that it continues to be a foundation on to however long we live, where God is always present in our marriage. And when we, outside of being a married couple, if I apply what God tells me that I need to do as a woman, as a wife, and he applies what God says he should be doing as a man and as a husband,
Mhm.
and we put these two things together, our relationship with Jehovah, it comes full circle so that it builds a stronger marriage because both of us value highly our relationship with our Father Jehovah, and because we don't want to do anything that's going to be disapproving in His eyes, that helps us to make sure that we treat each other in the way that He sees that we should. And so having that spiritual foundation is most important, and then everything else falls.
Absolutely. You did a very accurate description of that threefold cord that, when you just have two pieces of twine, they can easily unravel. But when you have God cementing you together, it ain't going nowhere. So things are going to come your way. Stormy weather, rainy days, it's going to be crazy. But, you also spoke to that element of doing what you did in the first place. I just always find it laughable when couples are so excited when they first get together and they're only talking about each other to their friends and their family. And then suddenly it's crickets. It's like, hey, what happened to that one guy? Or what about that girl that you were seeing? And well, that's not happening anymore. Well, that changed. And a lot of people point fingers at what they see the other person doing differently. But were you doing the same things? And a lot of times we kind of assume, well, I got him now. I ain't got to do nothing else. But that's the worst that you can do, because love takes work every day. And, I have friends that will say, man, your life looks perfect. And it makes me think of that ice skating couple. They look real good on that ice. But do you know how many hours they put into practice? Blood, sweat, tears, muscle memory. How many times she let him drop her? How many times he had to lift her up when she might have gained a few pounds? There's so much that goes into it behind the scenes, but all we see is this graceful performance that scores a 10. What marriage is like, So you have to keep doing the work, but when you both are willing to do that, it is the most beautiful thing. Such a blessing. So, 2 more questions. The first one is, who would you consider as top role models in having successful marriages? Who do you look to as people that have it right? And it can be present, past, someone that inspires you to keep doing marriage the right way.
I guess for me, a good example for me is actually James Fudge Sr. Actually, he's the one that did our wedding. And when I look at the way him and his wife interacted with each other, I mean, there'd be times where they had disagreements. I was there in the car when they had these disagreements, but you didn't get the sense like, oh man, well, this is really bad. I need to get out of here. I mean, they had their differences of opinion, but see, they knew one another very well. And even though, she said her piece and, you may not like everything she said, but you could tell she respected it. And at the same time, he cared about what she had to say. So, when I looked at him, he was more of a mentor father figure to me, helping me understand, like, as I'm navigating becoming a husband now, I learned a lot from him. A lot, because I didn't have my father in my life. So, my mother, she raised me the best way she knew can as a mother, but to be a husband and father, he had to step in and fill that void for me. So, for me, it'll be him and his wife, Cheryl. Cheryl Fudge.
Beautiful.
For me, I had a really good example growing up overall, but one particular couple that stood out to me was my uncle and uncle. My uncle and aunt. Yeah, I say that
right,
yeah. Uncle and aunt.
Uh-huh.
My mom's brother and his wife, Uncle Johnny and my Auntie Gloria. They, for me, set a wonderful example of what marriage should look like. And I admire them for, granted that they have struggles, that they have trials, that they have difficulties in their marriage. I may not have saw all of those, but what I did see was how they both were in unity, how they worked together to overcome those challenges and those struggles, and how they complement each other so well. And while one is, doesn't diminish, doesn't dull the other, they both have different personalities, which kind of reminds me of my husband and I. Like, we have very different personalities. He's this outgoing, gregarious, boisterous person, and I'm more of a reserved, shy, timid kind of individual. I don't show my emotions and my feelings readily. And seeing that dynamic can still work.
Right.
That's my mom and uncle were, but they balance each other so well. And um, he she shined in areas where he might not have been the best in, and vice versa. She shined in areas where he might not have been the best in, and vice versa. So they worked in the youth. They were friends. They still are friends. They've been married for a long time. I believe going on, I would say 30, 40, 30 years.
No, 40.
40 years.
The 40 is almost close to it.
And so,
Wow.
so that was for me. They stood out. And I often said that if I married, I wanted a marriage that looked like that. It was that solid.
And so
Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to share this video and like, comment, and subscribe. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at NewYouWow. Until next time, stand tall in your power and remember, your belief in yourself is your superpower.